The Ford Motor Company has had a very tough start to this season. In fact, the manufacturers have been in a tough spot for the past few years now. They have not been able to hit the sweet spot with these next-gen cars. NASCAR Pundit Kyle Petty went on to blame Ford for the poor performance of their customers during a podcast. Ahead of the 2024 NASCAR season, Ford introduced their new model, Mustang Dark Horse. This model was meant to be a step ahead of their previous Fusion models. It's been such a great car for us and a great icon for us since 1964, both as a road car and as a race car for that entire time. Mark Rushbrook, Global Director of Ford Performance Motorsports, told NASCAR.com in a teleconference, "When we as a company made the commitment to have a 7th generation Mustang for the road, we knew instantly in motorsports that meant a new wave of Mustangs for us on the track. Indeed, 2023 saw a refresh for the manufacturer in each of its other racing series, ranging from IMSA to Australian supercars and beyond. And then, of course, our bread and butter here in the United States is NASCAR," Rushbrook said. "When we switched from Fusion to Mustang in Cup in 2019, that was a big deal and something we've been very happy to see the success of that car. But now to be updating this Mustang in Cup to the 7th generation Mustang, and especially the new model with a Mustang Dark Horse, to really make a statement about what Mustang is as a road car, as a sports car, and as a race car at the highest level in NASCAR is important. And it gives us that opportunity to continue racing Mustang in front of great fans, on great racetracks, and to kind of wave the flag for the new Dark Horse version was important for us as well." One notable design on the car was the front nose. It had a much lower ground clearance than that of the Chevrolet and Toyota. This design was meant to stand out from the other two manufacturers to give them extra speeds on the short-circuit tracks. "Where you are within that box is still important," he said. "So repositioning as you can to truly optimize that, every little bit of performance counts. But there's also a lot of performance that simply isn't characterized in that submission process of how the cars are truly racing on this variety of tracks, as well as trade-off decisions that are made in terms of drag versus downforce. It's hard to make improvements in both. We certainly did in this case. But in our 23 car, maybe some of our trade-offs weren't in the optimal place that you could see. We were really strong on superspeedways, and that hurt the performance a little bit on the intermediate tracks. So being able to reposition where we are in the box is an important step for us, as well as optimizing some of the detailed racing conditions to make sure we're the most competitive in all those situations." This season, the team has yet to get a race win. In fact, Ford hasn't won any of the first 9 races of the season for the past 14 years. This is a record that no manufacturer would want to hold. Given that there are only 3 manufacturers, one would expect the competition between them to be close. Ford has gotten the design for the next-gen cars completely wrong. Here's what the manufacturer had to say about it. "It's definitely been a tough start to the season," said Mark Rushbrook, Global Director of Ford Performance Motorsports. "You can't deny that it's something our teams, our drivers, and all our engineers supporting them take very seriously. We've had some reasons to have confidence in terms of poles, but poles don't win races. I'm very confident as we've developed the Mustang Dark Horse with our teams that we have a better body this year than we did last year. It's better for drag, it's better for downforce. We also shifted the balance for it. But with those improvements, it's still new, and what we're all working through now is to make sure we're optimizing that potential. I think there are definitely some opportunities for us to really maximize that and ultimately translate into results." Ford believes that they will get back to winning in no time. However, the results are yet to prove so. There's no doubt that the Ford is quick over a lap. This is why they have achieved a few pole positions this season. However, their race pace is nowhere near where it needs to be. With these next-gen cars, Ford introduced their new Mustang Dark Horse this year, which was built to give the cars the right balance of speed and downforce. This is a requirement with the new regulations. Since NASCAR is looking to increase the number of street races on the calendar, they want their cars to be able to take corners at greater speeds. However, in doing so, the cars will have to compromise top speed. This season, the RFK racing team has also not been able to find success. They're Ford's oldest clients in NASCAR. Their partnership began in 1988 and has continued to date. Even Chris Buescher has had a rough start racing for RFK. Former driver Kyle Petty blamed some of that on Ford performance during the Go PRN Live podcast leading into the Texas race. "I think Ford thought this car was going to be a step forward," said the long-retired 8-race winner on one of his many analyst appearances. "Remember, they had that other body style, Fusion, for many years. You work and you get it and you understand it. Even if it's bad, you understand where it's at. Then all of a sudden, you get another body style and you think it's going to pick up where this one left off. But it didn't. They've gone backward. So now they're having to build back again. The Ford teams aren't in the same place. They've got a different car and had to go to a different place and start again." When the new regulations were introduced in NASCAR, there was a change in the aero package as well. This made the car more aerodynamically sensitive. When this happens, the car becomes more reactive to turbulent air coming from the car ahead. This causes the car behind to vibrate more than usual, making it difficult to control the car. Due to this, it becomes challenging to stay behind a car to attempt an overtake. This problem becomes worse in short circuits. While the new nose was meant to improve their performance on short-circuit tracks, it seems to have had a negative effect. The team has not been performing well at all on these circuits. However, NASCAR has admitted that the short-circuit package for this year is a problem. They're committed to fixing the issue. In doing so, Ford should be able to unlock some performance for their teams. But the other manufacturers, Toyota and Chevrolet, might start facing some issues. NASCAR will be hoping to get the regulation changes right to make sure that all manufacturers are able to build the best car possible for the races. At the end of the day, NASCAR does not want any one manufacturer to dominate the grid. This would make the sport more boring. In order to keep the fans entertained and on the edge of their seats, NASCAR wants the battle between the manufacturers and teams to be as close as possible. Although they are yet to win a race, Ford has had 2 top 5 finishers in Atlanta, another at Las Vegas, 3 at Phoenix, and 1 each at Bristol, Richmond, Martinsville, and Fort Worth. They just need to unlock that little bit extra to get their drivers to start winning. Last season, although Ford came last in the manufacturer's title, Ryan Blaney, the driver for Penske, won the NASCAR Cup Series championship. This year, he's yet to qualify for the playoffs, but with 17 more races left in the regular season, there's no doubt that he will have the opportunity to defend his title. Given Ford's experience in motorsport, there's no doubt that they will be able to pick themselves back up and go racing. But the only question is when they will be able to do so. Will they have to wait till NASCAR fixes the short-circuit package? Or will they have to wait for the 8th generation cars to be revealed? Either way, Mark Rushbrook will be rushing his team and the Ford Motor Company to find a solution to the problem. If they're not able to fix the issue, some of the team may choose to go to other manufacturers, such as Toyota or Chevrolet. There have also been rumors of Honda entering the sport. Honda will definitely be looking to steal some teams from the likes of Ford, as they are the low-performing manufacturers at the moment. What do you think Ford should do to get themselves out of this hole? Post your thoughts in the comment section below.